Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tucson 2025. We have our first class here in Tucson, and Deb is joining me. I'm so lucky. How are you doing? How's Tucson going?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yesterday was my first day, and we had a friend with us that could only be here for one day. So we did like this whirlwind tour of a bunch of shows. So now it's like, okay, I got to go back and see all of the things that I didn't get to see.
Yeah, you have to go back and get into the details, table by table.
But it didn't stop me from shopping.
Yeah, I mean, I still managed it.
I still managed to shop.
Me too. Yesterday was my personal shopping day. I had a lot of fun. And I also picked out a few things that I was like, Sam, you need to get these.
Yeah. These are for you, Sam, but these are for me.
Yeah, you got it. Today we're going to make with things that we actually picked out in Tucson together last year.
No.
We were like, wait, we didn't. We were trying to jog our memory. Like, oh yeah, I remember going around that booth.
Yeah.
You would just sort of point at the different strands you like. We'd lay them on this palette and just see what worked together.
Yeah. It's weird. Like our past lives.
Yeah.
We created this palette, and when I saw them again, they didn't look familiar to me anymore. Like, did we really pick those out?
I know.
Oh my gosh, we did.
Yeah.
We did pretty good.
I know. We maybe meant to do this class sooner, but it worked out well because these are truly Tucson gems. We got them last year.
Yes.
And now we get to turn them into jewelry, which is so special.
Yes.
Actually, why don't you show us the piece? I want to see the final results.
Okay.
You can just pull it
just pull it over here.
Yeah, it's I don't want to hide the secret. So what did you say you were calling this necklace?
Well, so this
tell us about it.
It's a little off the beaten path, but I kind of like the style of like a column that comes down kind of the center of the body. And this moves along your heart line. And these hearts, I felt like if they were going in this direction, it was like two hearts come together, two hearts beating as one. And I'm a U2 fan, so that song from way back when, you may not know it. It's really old.
I think I haven't really listened to U2,
but there is a famous song of theirs, and it's two hearts beat as one. And that came to mind when I put these little hearts on here, and then just the colors and the shapes and the beads are all truly beautiful beads. I mean, I could not be more in love with this this palette with these beads. And
I love what you did with the tulips. That you made this little garden of all these dangles.
Yes, because if you're gonna be, in love, you want to have flowers too, right?
True.
So these flowers are perfect, and with this design, those little flowers are gonna move around and create some movement, and they'll all probably lay nicely when you're wearing it, but
they might cluster together.
But it's just a really fun and interesting piece, and I had so much fun making this one. I really love it.
When you sent me it, I was like, "You are giddy right now."
I was totally giddy. It was one of those days.
Yes. Okay, let's tell you all about what the beads are in here. So, the heart's the most important. So these are Sakura Agate hearts, these gemstone hearts. So Sakura means cherry blossoms, and that's what I see when I look at these. These little bursts of cherry blossoms in each heart. Each one is unique and different.
These, like I was saying before we started, these don't look real to me. Like they're like little pools of water with like the flowers in them. It's just so interesting and different, and you can't really appreciate them until you have them in your hand because they are just like a little work of art.
They are
super cool.
I know, it's hard to believe that those are natural gemstones, but
they're real.
We're showing them in sets of 3, so you'll get a nice mix if you pick that up.
So pretty.
And then we have a lot of lepidolite. That was what do you think of this this color of this stone? I think it's unique.
So these are also like when you see them up close. Can I pull?
This is the 8mm.
Let's see if I can do this without destroying
your. Right if you do.
So there's something about these. They also look like little planets.
They look like little plums to me.
Yeah, the color is plum.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what drew me to I think this was one of the first beads I pulled out.
Okay.
I remember seeing these on the table.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And there's just something, they're kind of dark and moody, but also very joyful when you look at them up close. They just have almost like glitter
Yeah. I remember, I think at first we only found like a few strands and we had to like dig around to be like, okay, no, there is a big enough bundle here. There's enough. So yeah, you use the 8mm. We got them in 6mm too, just because that would be beautiful. And then that's also what the squares are. Like it's a little bit of a different
very
tone
different
in the Faceted squares, but this is also Lepidolite.
Look at those. And these are just really interesting and fun. I love a good shaped bead. And these are just incredible beads. I mean, and so different, but I must have really been drawn to this gemstone, not even knowing that they were the same. But it's a beautiful color. Yeah. Really beautiful.
Let's see. The last couple things, those little rondelles, they're hiding. These are a multi-spinel. I don't even remember what size they are. They're adorable.
They're tiny.
But like the color is like actually quite vibrant on them.
They are spectacular. We're going to use these in my piece all throughout because they just add a little bit of sparkle and some kind of bohemian vibe because they're all different colors. I just love them.
See that?
They're so pretty. I think they're like a 3mm.
Yeah, I think they are around that.
Look like that size.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah.
And then the tulips, these are a carved resin. This was something that we discovered last year in Tucson. So you've probably seen, we've posted some tulips and other shapes throughout the last year. But we found these at the same time. But
incredible.
These we knew we wanted you to work with. We're like, okay, what is Deb gonna do with resin beads? Like something interesting.
But they feel like stone. Like I would say if someone didn't know, to the untrained eye, these could very well feel like stone. They're a little cold. Yeah. But they have some color variation to them. Yeah. They're just absolutely spectacular.
They're so cool.
I love them.
And the last bit there is just some clasp. We have a final stock of these ones from TierraCast. I think the pewter ones might have already disappeared this morning. We have a few left of the copper ones, but these were made in the USA. We got these, is that a year and a half ago? I don't know, however long ago that TierraCast closed down in the US. And so this is our last batch of those. So
they're also very cool. They got some great texture. And I mean, I kind of did a mixed metal thing with my piece, but you know, if you want to keep it all copper or you want to keep it all silver, you can do that. Yeah. Fun.
Okay. So we had to go in depth on the beads because like this is Tucson, like that's what matters.
Yes.
But we are also going to do a tutorial today. We're going to get a lesson here from Deb. So we went through all the beads. What else are you using today?
So I used some 19-strand beading wire, and I actually got us started because there's a lot of beads on this project. But I used a Beadalon bronze color, which is this lovely kind of coppery. It goes nicely with copper, I think. Yeah. So it's a 19-strand. Then I'm embarrassed to show my wire. It's like all crazy. 22 gauge artistic wire. You could try a 20 gauge. We're going to use them when we put our hearts onto the piece. And then I have some, let's see, I have one in here, a little tiny, this is a ball end headpin. I think it's 2 inches and it's like a 21, maybe a 22 gauge, really lightweight headpin. I've actually got 5 headpins used in the project. And we've also got seed beads.
Yes. Oh, you're right. I didn't even mention those yet. Thanks to Deb, we have brought in 15 seed beads to the shop. It's only in like the last month or so, maybe folks have noticed. But I mean, you were a bigger reason why. So I'm not really much of a seed beader, although I'm working on that. But I love using seed beads in my stringing designs, and I love the dimension that they bring to a piece. So, I mean, 15s are kind of your go-to for stringing, right?
Yes. If I can use them for the combination of beads and the hole sizes and all of the mechanics, I want to use them, and I have them in like, a cajillion colors because
you need to.
I have to, and these are perfect for this project. I don't remember the color.
Now, these are a copper lined crystal, so it's a crystal glass and it has that copper lining in it.
And they just bring a pop of shine all throughout this piece. So I think they make a difference.
Yeah. So you actually use like silver wire, that copper, the
silver
bronzy wire, but it all kind of flows together. I totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I didn't put it on the tray, but I also used some French wire to finish up my project. So I used this is probably not very available, in the traditional places, but this is a bronzy colored French wire. You can use any color or a wire guardian, or you don't have to use anything at all.
It does the same thing as a wire guardian.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I've got some silver crimps. Nice. So we've got, kind of a mixed metal for all of the accents to the piece.
Wonderful.
So
we know what we need. Please.
Should we start?
Let's start making. I want to make jewelry. I don't want to just shop. I want to make jewelry.
Well, I know. Well, I want to do both.
Yeah, that's true.
This morning I got us started on the project, and I was thinking, oh, yay. I'm like getting my desire to make something out. Like I'm getting that.
Well,
I'm getting that going.
All these beads, like they're so inspiring to your creativity. And then you're with beady friends. It's like, I think we need like beading hangouts as part of the Tucson experience.
I think that would be fun. Like just
see more of that.
Camp out somewhere and just
bring
start
your project, bring your beads you just bought.
Make.
This is our beady hangout that you all are a part of. We're in Tucson and you guys are here along with us.
Yeah. So I'm going to reorganize myself a little bit.
Lift this up a little bit. Let's see. Sorry, guys.
So what I did to get us started is I strung the first side of the piece down to where we add the heart, the first heart. So I'll show you up close. I started with a little, one of the little copper cubes, also something we're using. And then I did a pattern of 2 seed beads and the little gemstones, those little gemmy beauties.
Yeah, little spinels.
And then I did 2 series of 3 of the 8mm lepidolite. And I've got a trio of the little ones and a trio of the little ones. Then we introduced that different color cube, or I guess rectangle, faceted.
Oh, and 3 is kind of your number. I didn't even recognize that before.
I'm kind of trying to get myself away from 3 in some ways, though.
This one.
I'm branching out. So then I introduced the rounds again. So this is just kind of a little like, wow, a little pop. Pizzazz. Yeah. And then we're going to add on our first little crisscross heart.
Oh.
So I'm going to snip off some wire off to the side here. And that's probably more than I need, but you're going to create a loop. So
you were right on camera. That looks great.
So I'm going to make a decent sized loop, but not too big of a loop. Okay. So
you're still pretty close. You're pretty close to the end of the pliers. You're not.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to do a couple of wraps. Like you don't want an overly big wrap there. And this is chunky wire. I think this is a stainless steel wire. It's a little chunkier. And then I'm going to snip off, if I can get it to snip off. There we go. And then I've got a little piece of wire that's poking out there. And just going to kind of tighten that up a little bit and straighten out my loop. I can still see that little guy. I can still see that. Okay, so now what we want to do is put one of our little gemmy guys on either side of the heart. Because you've got that dip in the heart, it also helps kind of even it out. So we're going to put one on either side. And you can be specific about what color stone you want to pick.
Yeah.
I mean, if it means something to you to have them match.
Which one of the multi-stone? Yeah, because you have a lot of color choices.
Yeah. So it should look like that. You've got that little stone in that little dip in the heart.
There, yeah.
Love it. And then we're just going to put one on the other side like that. And then, wow, I really have too much wire.
You might be able to use it for the other heart.
And then we're just going to do, this is not the easiest wire that I brought.
Yeah. I could only open up the other wire just in case you want
Just in case. Yeah. So
that's a little different than the original one.
Yeah, I don't know. I grabbed everything off my table that was there when I was leaving. So that's what we're talking about. It's just it's like a little connector piece. And you could most certainly do these hearts in a different orientation if this is a little too off the beaten path for you. But you'll want to make sure that your loops are going the way that the wire is going to go through it. So I just kind of do a little double check to make sure they're facing in the right direction. And then I'm going to put that first side on. And then I've got 2 little seed beads sitting there. So this is going to be kind of going across the seed beads. And
okay, the loop is bigger than the seed beads.
Yeah. And then I'm going to put another little stone on the other side. So these stones are going to be acting like a little frame of our little wire piece there.
And I think your loop is smaller than those, so probably it'll stay between there.
It should.
Okay.
And then we're going to do our tiny little seed beads. You guys probably can't even see these.
I know, can you guys?
Can you even see them?
These are the 15 OCBs. They make the best spacers. I'm a fan.
They really do. They really, really do. And I'm doing 2 seed beads, but if you want to elongate this piece a little bit, so amazingly, the more seed beads you use, the longer your piece is going to be. And it stretches your beads out a little bit.
I don't think I would have thought to put 2 of them, but it totally works.
Like I was always big on 3. So I've got my trios of everything else, but for some reason I've kind of been going with 2 seed beads lately. That's kind of my jam lately.
No, that spacing looks great.
Yeah, it just adds a little touch of something.
Yeah, you get a little more of the sparkle showing.
Yeah. So now we're going to start the section where we add the next heart. So we're going to make another one of our hearts, and I just need to add a couple of these little pretty tiny little gems. I mean, they're faceted. They're so great.
Yeah, they're so pretty.
I mean, I remember seeing those too. I almost even remember where they were in the booth because they were just like, I love these.
Yes. So for folks, if you join us late, these are all the gems that we picked out a year ago in Tucson. One of the things we love to do is just with our designer friends, go and look at some of the booths together. And then just be like, okay, pick out what you love and let's see if it looks together. And then, then we're thinking about, okay, are these a good value? Are they good quality?
Yeah.
We're kind of doing the checks.
Can you get enough of them?
Yeah. Are there enough of them available? Like me and Sam have those checks that we always have to do to make sure it is ready for Sam's bead shop. But getting to make a palette together, it gets us doing things we wouldn't have thought to do. Yeah. And that's what's so great.
Yeah. I mean, that was such a fun day. And I think that was my last day in Tucson last year. And I don't know if I ever told you, but as I was driving out of town, there was a rainbow.
No way.
And I thought, oh my gosh, that's a total sign that today was a really good day.
Wait, so a year ago, we were also designing that bead box together,
yes.
right? We were like 2 peas in a pod last Tucson because we were meeting about the citrus box that everyone then saw last August.
Yes.
We were coming up with this palette. Oh, and I remember there was I remember a rainstorm on the tent.
Yes.
And it was so loud. These tents, are I think they're temporary. I don't know. Do those come down?
I think they come down.
they feel permanent.
Yes, they come down.
I've only ever seen them up. Every year I come back, the tents are up.
Yes, of course they must be there all the time.
So they was pounding. So then you got a rainbow.
And when I got back to my home up north, there was a rainbow as I pulled onto my block.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, wow, that means something. I'm not quite sure, but I feel good about whatever it means.
I think you even stayed an extra day for us because we needed more time together.
I might have. I usually stay more time than I'm staying this time. And my husband's like, you're not gone for over a week. I'm like, no, you better cancel all your parties because I'm coming back.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So I've got my
you
second
did the
heart.
same thing again.
So we've got our 2 hearts and they've got plenty of room. They're not going to touch each other. But if you wanted to, you could do a different design there, most certainly. If you want to change it up a little bit, you could most certainly do that. And then I've got the start of how we add the little flowers. And I did do some of the wire wrapping ahead of time because I didn't want you guys to fall asleep on me. Sometimes, watching somebody string, it's like, oh my gosh, that's kind of tiring to.
That reminds me, I didn't want to say
heavy.
is folks, as you're shopping our live sales this week and, next week and the week after you're getting your Tucson gems that, shipped to you. I think starting with a stringing project makes a lot of sense. It's when you start with a stringing project, it's very, it's just very easy to get going, to get making, and it's a great way to show off a bunch of different gemstones. So,
Yes.
I mean, that's why we're doing these projects. We want to inspire you so that, you get these gems and you know exactly what to do right away.
Yes. Amen. Yeah. I second that. So, I added one more lepidolite in the 8mm and then another 2 seed beads, another little gem, and then I grabbed a flower. And the flower's holes are fairly large. So a 15-0 does not want to sit on top. It wants to go into that bead. Yeah. So I'm not putting seed beads after that. And that little stone is going to act
that Spinel Rondelle is actually just right up against the tulip.
Yeah. So it's just going to sit on top. Actually, I think it looks really pretty that way.
Yeah, I do.
And then another one at the bottom.
Nice.
And then a couple of seed beads. And I like to put the seed beads on my finger and then put them on. I know that's weird. As a stringer, I didn't really learn how to use seed beads though.
I guess I don't.
The right way first.
I still feel like I have trouble picking up seed beads.
Like picking them up with a needle when you do projects, I can never get that right. I'm like, forget it. I'm just not going to do it.
Whatever works.
So we've got a little, we've got a couple of these, and that's going to start our little, little loop of flowers at the bottom. Yeah. So this pattern, we're ending with our little Spinel, and then I've got 4 seed beads there. Okay. And what I do, whether it actually will stay exactly this way, is another story. But I put on 2 first, and I wrapped these others. We'll do one together. Okay. But I'm going to put this guy on, and that will be our first little dangling flower.
And then how many more seed beads?
And then 2 more seed beads. And I always put a couple extra in my hand because, they have a tendency to fly around. And then we're going to do another little gem. So these gems are kind of acting like placeholders. Mm-hmm. And then they're also just, adding a little extra sparkle down there. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to grab another one of my flowers. And I don't think I actually was thoughtful of like trying to pick all the same colors for the flowers, but they kind of ended up that way.
Oh, choosing ones that are like the same pink color.
But I kind of like the fact that they have a bit of a bohemian look.
Yeah.
Because they're all different. Mm-hmm. So, all right, 2 more seed beads on there. And your beading wire should be strong enough for you to pick them up off your finger like that. If you want to do it that way.
Dangles. They're so cute.
They're the cutest. These are just great beads. I hope some folks will try working with these. Spring is coming.
Yeah.
So, but I like to have flowers in all year round.
Absolutely.
Because then that just makes everything cheerful.
Yes. All
right. So one more before we'll do one together. So, and when I do a project like this, I'm usually a pretty inefficient maker. Like I stop and do my wire wrap and then do the next one, but you could wire wrap all of these ahead of time.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my stone. Oh no, that's right. I like doing them ahead of time is probably more efficient.
I guess that way you get a string faster, but
it's up to you.
I don't know. the whole point is just to be having fun, making jewelry. So if you want to go back and forth, string it on, wire wrap another, string some more. Like, there's why are we trying to go fast? We're making jewelry.
I don't know, but all I can say is sometimes you just go with your design. Just do it. Just go ahead and let it go as it flows.
Okay. Oh, I gotta zoom in here. You're gonna show us how to make these dangles.
So I put a little stone at the end. I do that because these are large holes and because that ball end is very small. I think I put one on and it went right through. So, and you could also, if you prefer these, you could put them upwards instead.
Facing down, but
I kind of like them. They look like they're like hanging from a tree or something, like just really fun. So I'm just doing a simple wire wrap loop up top. And I am a weird wire wrap loop person. I kind of use the beads and the tool to
also you stick with the round nose pliers the whole time.
I do.
I'm not used to that. I switched to a flat nose plier.
I don't know. I know I learned from a bead shop how to do a wire wrap loop, but I don't think I'm actually doing it the way I was taught.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Probably not.
Doesn't matter.
I've just kind of morphed into a different style of doing it. So there's our little wire wrapped pretty.
So cute.
And let me check where I am. Okay, so I've got a couple of seed beads to put on. One just went under my fingernail. I have total gemstone or gem show fingernails already, and I've only been here a day.
I know. When you go through these gems, your hands kind of start
dirty.
To dry up. There's a lot. There could be quite a bit of dust. Yes.
I dug through this bin of Afghani pendants yesterday, and they're old and dirty. I carry wet naps with me because things are so dirty. So I didn't get my nails quite the way I wanted them for today, but that's all right.
No, they're working hard.
So here's our little loop, you guys, and I'll just offer up. These aren't going to lay this pretty all the time. One might pop up, but if you want to try and spend a little more time spacing these out, maybe you do these a little bit wider, like you could add beads to either side, and that will promote these kind of laying a little bit more flat. Totally up to you on how you might want to go about doing that. But I like the spacing of this necklace. I think that's part of what makes it interesting. It's just,
this is a pretty long necklace, right?
It's fairly long. Gosh, I didn't even measure it.
I have a ruler. Let me grab it.
So we can tell you how long it is. I think we can tell you. Okay, so I'm at the end of my loop. And I definitely need the same amount of seed beads.
So these colors just look so
They're
nice.
so good. I'm just so crazy over this palette. It's just so good. All right, Deb, you got too many things in your hand.
Okay, we are using, I would say that is about 23 inches or 24 inches of the full amount of, about 23 inches of the stringing wire. That's what I'm trying to say. But then the portion that's above the top heart is about 16 inches. So it's kind of like everything until that first heart is like the height of maybe a typical necklace. Yeah. And then everything below that is sort of that extra statement part of it.
It kind of just then creates that dramatic room entrance necklace.
Exactly.
Say,
but that makes sense. You do need to make sure that first heart is not too tall, not too high up, or you're not going to be able to wear the necklace.
Exactly. That's a great point.
So make sure when you decide where to put that first heart that it should be around 16 inches at least. So that way it's, where you would wear a normal necklace, wear a typical necklace, and it'll fit.
Another thought is if you do want this to be a little bit longer, you could pick up some of these 6mm and have them kind of closer to your neck.
Yeah, the 6mm lepidolite. Yeah,
that might be kind of cool.
At that graduation, I like that idea.
All right, get on there, little bead. Okay, so we've got our little floral section all strung up here. And then we're going to get ready to attach our other side and then add our hearts into the mix so that they actually sit where they're supposed to sit. And I could have literally just knotted these 8mm lepidolites and just been
and been happy
because they are so darn pretty. All right.
I think it's great if folks want to use like a purple tone, but want it to have a different look than amethyst, just, to change it up. I think lepidolite is a good thing to look into if you haven't used that stone yet. I think we're going to make everyone fall in love with lepidolite and Sakura Agate today.
Yes. And I have to remember Sakura Agate because I did not know that.
Look for those in rounds too. Like that is also gorgeous.
Like also like little planets, sort of.
Exactly.
If I can get this darn seed bead on. Okay. All right. So we can now string through.
So it's symmetrical.
Yeah.
And now it's okay.
So now we've got our piece attached to the first one, and you can decide, like, because these do flip around, you can decide which picture you want on your heart because they look different on both sides. I mean,
because if you make that wire wrapping tight enough, it won't slip on you.
Yes. All right, and let me grab another little gemstone. Get in there.
And I know we were chatting before because we know some people might want to have the heart like facing up and down as just another design option. I mean, one idea I had was like across where these are, like put a bunch of beads.
Yeah.
Have like a bunch of beads across and then put the heart on a head pin and then hang it from the center of that border. So that could be a way to flip the orientation of the heart. Yeah,
if you want to go a little bit more traditional than Deb.
we love that you don't go traditional.
I really fell in love with this being kind of a little bit different, a little bit avant-garde, and that's kind of what I lean towards, but I haven't really made anything too crazy lately. So I think I needed to.
I need to turn something sideways. Yeah,
I got to do something crazy.
That is where the whole of the bead is. Like you were following.
I was. And this time of year with Valentine's Day, this is my favorite time of year. So I
love hearts, don't you?
I love them.
Love the heart beads.
And I love, all the Valentine's, stuff that goes on. So I really enjoyed playing with those. And you could do just one of these if you want.
Oh, true, yeah.
Like if you just want, like we could have stopped at this one.
Yeah.
That's another option too.
Yeah, this is definitely a technique where folks like you're learning, all the steps, how to create this sort of connector link in the center of a necklace. But I think it'd be a great idea to take this idea and try it out with other beads that you have, other gemstones. Yeah. And I think you could come up with some really unique things.
Yeah, if you got like a barrel shaped bead, that would look cool in there.
Maybe something that has like some carvings on it.
Oh.
Then you like as it spins, like maybe let it spin, and then it'll like show that.
Yeah. And I saw some really incredible Z beads, like barrel Z beads yesterday.
I'm on the same page.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
They would look really beautiful. And it just may mean you have to modify your seed beads or modify your shapes of beads. But I mean, when you have a palette this color, it's hard to say no to putting all these things together. All right, so we just have to finish up the other end of this piece.
Yeah, we've done the core technique.
We've done the hard stuff.
Continue to string this up.
Yeah, so don't fall asleep on us.
This is the relaxing part.
Yeah, I literally had, like, when I worked on this project, I also had a personal project that I was working on, and I sat and I had like just some nice music on and just kind of let it come to be.
Yeah. Did you have U2 on?
Probably not. Amazingly, no. I've been a little bit obsessed with the Beatles for some reason.
Nice.
All of a sudden, like the last couple of years.
A new album come out in a way, like it got remastered or something.
I think you might be right.
For a Grammy, which I think is tonight. Yeah.
Yes.
So like the Beatles have new quote unquote new music.
New music, allegedly.
So funny.
I get the goosebumps when I think about they did this show, this thing on the Disney Channel where they played old footage of them in the studio before they did their big rooftop concert. And I just like, I felt like I was in the room with them.
I think I've heard about this.
They're like royalty.
Me.
They're like music
Beatles
royalty.
Music. Yeah. So it just puts me in a good mood. It's so fun.
And it's so varied. Like over the years, they did so many fun things. So I was probably listening to that because I've been really into it.
I feel a little bit of that 60s vibe in this design. That makes so much sense.
Yes. Okay. Now we got our little squares. Are you calling these squares?
Yeah, they're faceted squares. They're a little bit freeform in shape as well.
Yeah, some of them have a different, kind of a little slightly different shape. And
maybe
then
more like a trapezoid if we're being specific.
Yeah. But they are just, and they're beautiful, but they have like a different color variation too, which I think makes them super interesting and fun.
But because they're both lepidolite, they do blend together. They have a similar tone to them.
Yes.
Okay, Tina has a comment that I love. She says, I really love those hearts. Who says hearts are only red and pink or white, right?
Seriously. This is like, nailed
why
it.
Not hearts that are just this sort of like natural earthy tone, maybe a hint of pink in there. But I love that earthy vibe that they have.
Yes, they're really cool. And I can't see the hole in that one. So we're going to move on. We're moving on from that one. Hard to see them in the camera when you're making that. So that, I mean, that's just, I just love it. I just love the combo. And if folks get some of those little gems, they can then make themselves a bracelet.
Yeah. Those Spinel just with the 15OC beads as like a really delicate bracelet, stacking bracelet.
Yeah.
Oh, I might need to do that.
And I just realized I'm going to run out of the 8mm.
What are you going to? Oh, okay. I guess we might just have to use more seed beads. You can use more. Spinel. It doesn't.
We have a sample. We have a sample already that's perfect. But
I get one necklace and you get one necklace.
You get the asymmetrical one.
Sure, I'll take it. I don't mind. I want the one made in Tucson.
Okay.
It was also made in Arizona, not very far away.
Yeah, not too far. Like 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
So these beads, these beads great. I do think the idea of grabbing some 6s to finish up the back of it or make it a little bit longer would be great.
Are we just like under by 3 or something?
By 2. So that was my bad because I miscounted.
Oh, maybe the one
when I
the front or something.
But I separated them.
Oh, got it.
But I didn't.
Totally it's at the back.
It was math.
Yeah, please don't ask me.
Don't make me do math, please.
I was like, Deb, okay, take each strand and cut it in half. Yeah. I was like, I'm not doing it for you.
Okay. It must have been while one of the really good Beatles songs was on, and
a little distracted.
I was distracted by that. Oh, I think I picked up that one I couldn't string before, and I got it now.
Oh. Not going to waste.
Not going to waste. All right. And then we're just doing those trios of the beads, getting the little trio pretties.
We need to take a selfie of both of us wearing these together.
Yes, we must. We must.
Yes.
Because
I want to match with Deb. Please.
We want to have matching goodies.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we can both try it on for the end.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to put on my last lepidolite. And then I think, you know what I could do? Let's just add some of those squares. Let's add a square. Let's spare a square. You know what that's from?
That no, I don't.
It's from Seinfeld.
Spare a square?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple toilet paper.
Oh my gosh, why did I ask? Oh my god. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, I'm also a huge Seinfeld fan. I mean, a day does not go by without like mentioning Seinfeld in some way. All right, so let's see how this matches up.
Oh, this feels intentional now. This like totally works.
So let's push it all.
Let's see. Yeah, we
down
quite to the end of it.
And pull this.
Perfect.
So let's pull this down and let's see.
Make them around the same length.
So yeah, so we will. I think that's great. So what I'm going to do is just add a few of the little gemmies instead of, what do I have there? 1, 2, 3, 6 of them.
Okay.
So let's just do like 3. I think that's all we need. And get that on our end and see if that will match up well. And that's another thing about like making a design, a stringing design, is sometimes your beads might not be exactly the same size.
Yeah,
and you need to just kind of try a few things before you put that clasp on, because that can,
then you're committed.
Then you're committed. But
Lori had a great realization that we totally could have taken beads off the first side and then made it even. But now this is like the best accident.
Okay.
Now you have a bunch of people saying the asymmetry is perfect.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Lori, for being
Lori, I might have done that at home, but I didn't think about it today while I'm sitting here.
It did not cross my mind in the slightest.
All right. No, I need to put on a couple. I need to put on a few more still.
Okay.
So when I scrunch this all down.
Yeah, then you can really tell.
And what I found with this piece is that little metallic cube, which I'll show you in just a minute, is a great way to finish off your piece. So if you like to put wire like back through a bead, you won't be able to fit your stringing wire back through these tiny little gems. Okay. You just won't. They won't fit. Yeah. So, and I got too many seed beads on that. All right. Let's take a breather here, get that right. I won't be able to like sleep tonight if I don't fix it. I
think if I was going to make a matching pair of earrings to this, I think the tulips would be the thing I'd have to use. Like, because I would probably just do the exact same style dangle you did, but just as part of earrings, and then maybe and then like one lepidolite round above it. Yes. That would be. I'd keep it simple. Just like the tulip with the spinel and the ball head pin, and then a lepidolite round. And those are my matching earrings.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. And do you sell the flowers by the strand?
I think we have them as sets or strands, so folks can choose. If folks are all in on the flowers, get yourself a whole strand.
Get a strand of those.
But if you just want to dabble, they come in sets as well.
So here's our little cube.
Yeah, this is a diamond cube spacer.
Metal.
Yep.
And I'm using that. I'm going to use that at the end.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is, so I don't lose all this hard work, is I'm going to put a bead stopper on. And then I'm going to come over and cut my other end of my beading wire. So this.
Oh, cutting it off the spool.
Yeah, I try to work from the spool whenever I can. So I'm going to take this off camera for just a minute and make sure all the gravity is in the right spot.
So you're holding it up, making sure everything's the same length.
And I see I've got a little more. I need to put like at least one more on there. So when we did our little asymmetrical piece,
it actually kind of almost ended up symmetrical at the end.
Pretty close. Yeah, pretty darn close. Just different beads.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That is perfectly okay. And see, I got too many seed beads again. It's the lights. the heat of the lights.
Oh my gosh, the studio lights.
The studio lights. It's so warm. And you guys are missing out. If you're somewhere back where it's cold, you're missing like 80 degrees tomorrow.
The weather here is wild. I spent the afternoon at a cafe in the outdoor patio with a short sleeve shirt on. Like, what is Tucson? Oh my God. Like, it's not that warm back in the San Francisco area. Like this, I feel like I'm getting to go on a tropical vacation in the desert.
But it's funny because you'll know the people that live in Arizona because they'll probably have more clothing on than you. Because they're not quite as warm as you are.
Doesn't feel like
they're not.
Deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we, have those darn hot summers. Yeah. So for us, this is a little,
this is like cooler. Hot for my summer. Like this is wild.
Okay. I think that looks pretty good. I think those match up pretty good. All right. So I'm going to do kind of what I do to finish off my pieces.
We might be making people a little jealous.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
We can't quite bring the warmth to you all. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm gonna get all
the beads.
You can bring on the beads. I'm gonna move all of my beads out of the way so I don't send them flying all over
good to move the seed beads
this
off.
place. And then I've got my little toggle. And what did I do with my crimps? Here they are. So I've got a couple of size 2 crimps. So I'm going to be working with the silver ones here, but you could certainly coordinate your metals if you feel better about that.
And I'll just add, in case folks are looking for these toggles, they're in the links in this video, but they're called the Tierra Cast Flora Toggle Clasp. The Flora Toggle Clasp.
Flora. They're really cool. And they're double-sided. This part is double-sided.
The textures on both sides.
It's really
it's
nice
It's a different pattern on each side.
Yeah. You could do one of those necklaces that have like the toggle in the front with a toggle like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm using a little piece of French wire, and I know not everybody likes this stuff. And to be honest, sometimes it's a little persnickety at the ends, but I do like about, I don't know, that's about a 1/2 inch after my crimp. And then it should go on. I think I cleaned up the ends. So it just, for me, adds a nice little touch at the end. So I always start with the toggle bar, and I'm stringing that onto the wire. And then I'm going to take my wire down through the crimp and then through that metal bead.
Nice.
Because you won't be able to.
It's big enough to go through. Yeah, it'll fit through there.
You can't get it through those little baby gemstones. You just can't. The little bibbies. All right. So we've got that look. And then I'm going to come over and crimp. And I like the fact that I don't have seed beads at the end, because then I'm not going to potentially crack my seed beads, because that can happen when you use seed beads and a crimp tool.
And you're using crimp tubes, right?
Yes.
I use that too. Do you prefer crimp tubes over crimp beads?
I do. In fact, I was cleaning my studio. I was working on cleaning my studio for a couple weeks.
Job.
And I found a bunch of crimp beads, and I just literally like put them in a box, and because I know I'm not going to use them.
Donate them. Let someone else use them.
I'm gonna find a place to hand those over.
Sorry guys, we lost our overview. Let me see what happened here. Get our overhead back on.
Did we lose like the internet? Maybe?
No, that's still connected. All right, add camera. Uh-oh. Well, we are almost at the catch showing is connected. All right, let me unplug it. Luckily, okay, if I try to add it again. It's not letting us. Oh no. Okay, well, we are just gonna have our webcam now. So we can move. Oh yeah, our audio was connected to that phone as well. Okay, can you guys hear us now? Oh my gosh.
Always something.
All right, this is, we're really live. Okay.
Okay.
Let us know if you can hear us.
Okay,
you should be able to. Up. Okay, good. Thank you guys for telling us. Oh my gosh. All right. What's happening here is this is getting crimped.
Yeah.
And then, but we're basically at the end. I'm glad this happened now and not 10 minutes ago.
Not when we were like doing the putting together of the hearts and everything.
Yeah.
So
usually when this happens, I literally have to restart my computer. So I was like, can't do that right now.
We're not doing that.
All right.
All right,
show us here. Here, bring it right in the middle of us.
Here's our piece.
Oh my god.
And these hearts will lay flat when they're on you, but these are, you know,
Okay,
a little
I'm gonna try this
dangly and cute. So
take
let's
this
see.
off. I gotta take this one off.
Rachel can do the modeling.
Yes, please. I know usually I can't grab it from you in Arizona,
No.
but I'm right here, so I'm gonna try it on.
All right, now I'm gonna put on the other one. We have our matchy pieces. Oh, it looks so good on you.
Y'all, this is so cool. Look at us. My God, that needs to be the new thumbnail. This is
I think so too.
Cool.
I
You
love
guys
them.
look.
So much fun.
Here it is, the hearts, and then right now, yeah, how mine's laying, like just one of them kind of pops up.
Mine
going
too.
in that direction.
Mine
yeah.
too.
But I think I could kind of like go like this and
I nudged it and it
can make it a little cluster.
Yeah.
Or lay it down.
And if you're a fidgeter with your jewelry,
yeah,
like, this
perfect.
Is like, oh, these little flowers.
Look at that.
There's so many things. I mean, Rachel and I have different bodies. So her hearts are a little higher up.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of those sixes in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, I might just go a little longer, but it's also kind of cool because it's a little bit of like a collar
choker,
yeah.
Which I love.
And also it's interesting to see. I have it on I have a high neck on, and then you have more of an open neck, so you can kind of see how that looks.
Yeah, it's got lots of possibilities. So if you don't particularly like this exact design,
there's
so many other things
make
you
your
can
own
do.
version. But there's good techniques here to pull from.
Fun stuff.
Actually, I mean this. I just like this shaping. That's really flattering.
And it's going down towards your heart.
Yes.
With the hearts.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Oh, this is great. My gosh, this is our first class and we have our first finished piece.
Oh, yay.
Oh my God. This is so cool that we get to both go home with a necklace. Yes. I'm so happy. Oh, that is great.
Awesome.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you guys so much. If you joined us live, shout out to you all. We really appreciate it. For watching later on, that is so awesome. Please say hi in the comments. Give us a hello and emoji. We love to hear how you're doing. Let me just give people a little bit of details of what's coming up. So this was like basically Tucson day one for us. We had a live sale in the morning and then this class, and we're going to be doing this 6 times. We were here for 2 weeks. So tomorrow is Monday. So on both Monday and Tuesday, we have live sales at 8 a.m. Pacific and then class at 11 a.m. Pacific. So that's Monday and Tuesday. And then coming next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we do it all again. We have 6 live sales, 6 classes. We're only 1 day in, and we're going to keep making with all these beautiful gems. Tomorrow's all about turquoise, so it's an important day. So that's why Sam and Shira are shopping right now. They're getting a bunch more turquoise that Jessie will then photo tonight and get ready. It's kind of chaos. Yeah, probably to get it ready for tomorrow. So there's going to be new turquoise. And then Danielle is joining me to make with turquoise. She is still in Washington, but we do a class together every year. So it's like, even if you're not here in Tucson, we're still doing class together.
It's just the aura of Tucson.
Yeah, she belongs here. So she's a part of it.
Yes.
So that's everything that's coming up. So just check out the links in the description to find all the details, find the calendar, find the beads.
All the beads.
What's your, I guess, what's next for you the next couple days?
I'm headed to the casino for the Colors of the Stone show this afternoon. A friend of mine who came from Rhode Island is shopping this afternoon there. So I'm going to go meet her.
That one's great because there's a lot of artisan pieces. Yes. That's where I met Patricia Healy. We're going to be using some of her copper in a couple days.
Yeah. Some of my friends, my beadie friends are there. So it's always a good time, including Patricia. She's a
great.
Hoot.
Gollum Studios.
And
guys, I may have started an order with Gollum Studios for the first time. So that's your first little spoiler. We've never had them at the shop. So
they're so colorful.
I met them last year and I was like, okay, this stuff's really, really gorgeous.
Yes. And they are the nicest people on the planet. They're so sweet. So
that's a great show to go to. Yeah. And you're staying at why am I broadcasting? Sorry, I'm broadcasting to everyone. I don't know where you're staying
over there.
Maybe. Sorry.
And I don't know. I think Monday, Brittany and I are going to hang out a little bit.
Fun. Do some shopping.
And I don't know. Like the rest of the trip, I kind of left a little bit like loosey goosey because last year I had everything like super planned. And then when something like a wrench gets thrown in, you're like, okay, now how am I going to get to that other show? And
that's
so this year I'm just kind of going to go with the flow. I have maybe a dinner planned, but you know, nothing major.
Nice.
And some shopping.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Great. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you all for joining for the first class. We will see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.